I've been going to quite a lot of events recently, inclusive events, safe space events, and as a trans non-binary person, I just have been having a few thoughts about that, and I don't actually have an answer before I get started, but I just think it's something we need to think about, because a lot of these events are marketed as inclusive, and they might use language like this is a space for women and non-binary, or trans women and non-binary. I mean, trans women are women, but and my question is, I currently identify as trans non-binary, but I don't know if that's where my journey is going to end. I don't know if I will identify at some point as a trans man, and that then means, am I excluded from these spaces that advertise themselves as spaces for women and women and non-binary folk? And if that's the case, where are trans men supposed to go? Because I can tell you now, I absolutely don't want to go where the cis men are. That is not where I belong. It's not where I will belong if I identify as a trans man. Trans men are not cis men. I don't want to be a cis man. I never will want to be a cis man. The thing is, if I identify as a trans man, it doesn't erase my history as a woman, the life I've lived as a woman, the struggles I've had, the trauma that I've had, the experiences that I've had as a woman, the children I've birthed, the things that I've lived through as a woman don't just go away, and the support I need doesn't just disappear. From a woman's perspective, it just means that the gender I now identify with is different. And I understand the need for safe spaces, because there is a very real danger from a very clear demographic, and I have been that person. I have been that person who has been in danger from that demographic. That has been a very real experience throughout a lot of my life. I'm talking decades. And so I understand the need for safe spaces. However, when we exclude trans men, but we include non-binary people, what is it exactly we're saying? Because non-binary looks like anything. You could be a big, burly 6'4" person with tattoos, muscles, and a penis between your legs, and a beard, and identify as non-binary. You could identify as a woman and look like that. So what are we saying? That if a non-binary person that could look like anything is welcome, but a trans man is not welcome? Why is that? What is it that we're saying is the problem? And if we are not saying that trans men are not welcome, why is the language so exclusionary? Could we not use this as an event for women and gender expansive people? Because that includes everybody, or gender minority people. That includes a lot more. Because as a trans man, not that I identify one currently, but I might, I can imagine that there is very little support and very little places for people who identify as a trans man to go and feel safe. And there is a lot of focus on trans women, as I completely understand there would be, but we are forgetting about trans men and the need for safety and support there. And I don't have an answer, but I am curious to know other people's thoughts around this, especially people who are organising events, and the language that gets used. I've been to some events recently where there's been talk of menopause symptoms, and trans men experience menopause. It's not just women. And and trans men need to check for cancer in their chest. It's not just women, and the language needs to shift. And recently I had to go for a transvaginal scan because I've got some abnormal bleeding, and I get periods. I don't identify as a woman, so therefore the language around that entire thing, education around safety, cervical cancer, periods, we need to just be aware that it isn't just women who get periods, it isn't just women who get cervical cancer, and it isn't just women who need to go for checks and scans and things like that in the gynecological wards. So I don't have an answer for this, but I think it would be really great if we could have a little bit more dialogue around that, and I'd really like your thoughts on that.